In this video, I want to create wings for the caterpillar who is going to become a butterfly. And so what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to go to line. And in the top view, I'm going to draw roughly one wing. I'm going to move that over. Okay. Now, so my wing is down here, and you can see it's still very rough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it, and I'm going to my Modify tab, and I'm going to, I think I'm going to convert all of these, except for those two down here. So I'm going to hold down my Alt key on my keyboard and select those two to remove them from the selection set. There we go. Okay, so everything else is selected, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to convert all those to smooth. And then obviously I'm going to need to come in here and spend some time cleaning this up to make them look a little more pretty. Now, one of the things I do want to point out, whatever you do, don't overlap like that. It will create problems when it tries to extrude. Make sure everything is independent of everyone else. I actually want to convert this one back to corner. Like that. Okay. Yeah, this is nice. This works. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to apply my extrude modifier. And I'm just barely going to put anything on there. I mean, I'm going to do like a teeny tiny amount. Okay. Now I need to, it's on the ground down there. I need to move it into place. And then I'm going to need to rotate it. This one needs to be my front view. Okay, there we go. Okay, rotate. Now you see I have a problem, right? His wing is buried in his head and in his abdomen. So I'm going to fix that by applying a bend modifier. Right here, bend, B-E-N-D. And let's add an amount. Okay, it's not bending in the direction I want it. X, there we go. Okay, so I need to bend it the other way, like this. Oh, that's cute. It's bending it too much. No, not. Maybe not. Okay, now remember, I can expand this down and go to my gizmo and make adjustments to how it's bending it. And that should work. Okay. Just make sure you're out of that, otherwise it'll continue to move. And now I have I also want to bend it in the other direction. Okay, so I'm going to add a second bend modifier. direction I want. Nope. Actually, I should be able to type in 180 and that will change the direction. Oops. There we go. Okay, so I've changed, it's finally doing what I wanted it to do. I'm curving the wing this way. And that is also my X direction, and I change it to 180. You can see how that number changes the curve. Actually, okay, so I want to bring this down. For me, let's see, 118 should work to get that curve in the other direction. And now what I can do, I have another modifier. Make sure I'm out of sub mode. Okay. So now I have another modifier. I'm going to do this in my top view. That's called mirror. Mirror, mirror, mirror. Here it is, mirror. And you want to copy. And you want to tell it, in this case, I want my y-axis to be my mirror axis. And I don't always, it doesn't always work out right. You might just have to go through these. Okay, so y is my mirror axis. Yeah, it's my mirror axis. Okay, and I want to offset it. See, as when I'm doing the offset, it's moving. In this case, I want to move it down. It's moving my wings. That looks pretty good. I know they overlap a little bit, but that's okay. They sometimes do on butterflies. It works. Okay. And so now I have wings on my butterfly. And they're identical because I mirrored them. Now this is not what you're doing for lab 2, but later on when we get to lab 4, you're allowed to use multiple techniques, and this is one way to work with multiple techniques. Okay, so I said I was going to do this, so I just wanted to make sure I got some wings on the butterfly so you all could see him morph into the butterfly, and he has. Now, ideally we want to change the material on his wings, but we'll get there. For now, we're just working with solid color. Okay, let me know if you have any questions about this. In the next video, we're going to move on into polygon modeling, which is going to give you a lot more control over what you do. But it's important to master the basics before we get to the more complex stuff. Because once you can get to this point where you're creating characters at this level, polygon modeling is much easier. Okay, so we'll move on into that in the next video. But for now, this is wings on the butterfly.